Samurai. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, and it looks like Johnny's team makes the claim they've got some new evidence. So this is the Remove Amber Heard from Aquaman 2 petition. It's at over 1.8 million signatures, and honestly, she might be removed or not in it, and I guess that leaves this thing floating in limbo if that happens, but might as well sign it anyway to show how many people wanted her out. So let's take a look here. They don't give details, but they say for the appeal they've got some new evidence. Alright. Last year, Johnny Depp sued NGN and the Sun tabloid over a headline that labeled him a wife-beater. During testimony, Amber Heard testified that she had been brutalized by Johnny Depp on a number of occasions. Okay. Following a 3-week trial in July last year, Mr. Justice Nicol ruled that Depp, 57, assaulted Heard, 34, on a dozen occasions and put her in fear for her life at least 3 times. I always think about Johnny Depp, you know, just like playing his guitar and playing with those kids at the hospital, and then thinking about him threatening Amber Heard's life. And it's just so ridiculous, you know? It's too early to really laugh at this until it's actually over and Johnny has gotten justice. But once in a while, it's so ridiculous, I gotta just like chuckle. Okay. Depp is challenging that ruling, as we know. As of yesterday, Johnny Depp's legal team is asking to submit new evidence that was previously unheard during the trial, but has direct bearing upon Depp's appeal request. There's some speculation among netizens as to what that evidence could be. Some hope for those salacious Toronto tapes, but more think that the new evidence has to do with proving that Heard lied about donating $7 million to charity as a condition of their divorce. They don't have to prove it. We know it. I mean, Adam Waldman's already pretty much proved it on Twitter. She's caught lying in multiple interviews on tape. So, anyway, I guess technically they've got to prove it in court, so fine. It was those charitable donations that caused Justice Nicol to decide that Heard was not a gold digger. He fucking forgot about Amber Heard dating Elon Musk, who was the richest man in the world, and at that point was like number 2 or 3 or something. Not a gold digger. That's like the textbook definition of a gold digger is date a guy who's the richest man in the world that you're not really sharing interests with, that you're not really attracted to. Hey, I don't know if they've got nothing in common, but if you get my drift, she's pretty much the textbook definition of a gold digger. If it can be proven that she didn't donate the money, Nicol's finding in that regard can definitely be challenged and could affect whether or not Depp can continue his appeal process. And then she goes on to say there's going to be a 2-hour hearing sometime between March 15th and 30th, which is going to be pretty hard to wait for, like everything's hard to wait for. So, Miss Larson points to this Twitter post where she got the information, and the real Laura B., who's a close follower of this case and putting some great stuff out there, has the info where they claim that there is more evidence. Laura doesn't follow me on Twitter, so I guess I'll leave it at that. And here it is. I'm not going to get into it, but, you know, here's the evidence, here's the proof. I trust Laura, I trust Larson's judgment. I'm sure if we magnified that, read it, it would say exactly what Larson wrote. She's just one of those people, I trust the source. Okay, so let's see some of the speculation here. Now, Jamie Lynn still wonders why people are supporting Amber, like L'Oreal and movies and things like that. Simple answer. If you're out there right now wondering why Amber Heard is still being supported by establishments, you're not understanding what's going on in the US right now and the West in general. What's happened is social justice, SJWs, have pretty much taken over most of the country. The corporations, Hollywood, and at this point it's safe to say the government. Those ideals. They are fixated on gender, sexuality, and color of skin. Now, they have a ladder of, you know, who is treated the worst and who is treated the best. And on the ladder, Amber is a woman, she's higher than Johnny. Johnny's a man. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. I know for some people it's hard to understand because when I say it's on the left, I don't mean liberal. There's a lot of good liberals who have good ideas and they share the same beliefs as SJWs at the core, but the SJWs take it to the far left. Okay, I myself am somewhat liberal of a person, but not like them. I've got some conservative views too, so I'm somewhere politically in the middle. But what I'm saying is the people in charge right now are on Amber Heard's side because she's a woman, and that's the only reason. However, you see, in this miraculous case, that even though they play these identity politics, the evidence is so compelling against Amber. It's so obvious and factual. Even they are starting to side with Johnny. I mean, at a certain point of complete fact and evidence, it can't always be denied in these cases. This points to another article, and the article apparently says, the judge said an application by Mr. Depp's lawyers to rely on new evidence, which was not heard at the trial, would also be dealt with at the same hearing. So, on that March 15th hearing, or whenever it is, they will talk about that new evidence. And, I gotta say, in most cases, I would be surprised that there was new evidence, but this is a special case. This is Amber Heard, so I wouldn't be surprised if they said, guess what? We've got 24 pieces of new evidence, not one. I'd be like, okay, whatever it is, if it's about Amber Heard and being guilty and making mistakes, then I'm not surprised. You guys, let me know what you think down below. Doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.